Hold on, this gets crazy. A simple metal oxygen tank once became a missile inside a hospital and shot across a room at terrifying speed. Not in a sci-fi movie. In real life. You're watching Fact Harbor, and the reason that happened is far stranger than most people realize. Most of us think of an MRI machine as a giant camera. You lie down, it takes pictures, and that's pretty much it. But hidden inside that giant white tube is an invisible force so powerful that it can turn everyday objects into dangerous projectiles. The real question is, what actually happens the second metal enters the room? Picture yourself standing outside an MRI suite holding a pair of scissors. Nothing unusual, they're just scissors. Now take one step closer, still nothing. Another step, and suddenly, without warning, those scissors want to leave your hand. Sounds impossible, right? Yet hospitals around the world have strict safety procedures because of exactly this kind of danger. But here's the weird part. Not all metal behaves the same way. Some metal barely reacts. Some heats up. Some gets pulled with shocking force. So what decides whether a metal object becomes harmless or becomes a flying bullet? And why do even trained medical staff treat MRI rooms with so much respect? Most people assume the machine simply turns on when a patient arrives. That seems logical. Why waste power keeping it running all day? If that were true, the danger would be easy to control. Just switch it off when needed. But that's where the mystery gets deeper. An MRI machine isn't like your television, your laptop, or even a giant hospital scanner that powers up and down. The magnet inside many MRI systems is effectively always on, day and night, weekends, holidays, even when nobody is being scanned. And we're not talking about a weak refrigerator magnet. Some MRI magnets are thousands of times stronger than Earth's magnetic field. Thousands. So, if the magnet is always waiting, what happens when the wrong piece of metal enters its territory? To understand it, we need to travel back a little. The technology behind MRI grew from breakthroughs in the 20th century, involving scientists studying how atoms respond to magnetic fields. Decades of research eventually led to the medical MRI systems used today. The goal was incredible. Look inside the human body without surgery. The images were revolutionary. The magnetic field was revolutionary too. Here's what many people get wrong. The machine isn't trying to attract metal. That's just a side effect of creating an unbelievably powerful magnetic environment. And once certain metals enter that environment, physics takes over. No warnings, no negotiations, just force. But the most dramatic part still hasn't happened yet. The moment a strongly magnetic metal object gets close enough, it experiences what's called the projectile effect. Imagine an invisible giant grabbing the object and yanking it toward the center of the scanner. A paperclip might shoot forward. A wrench can become dangerous. A heavy oxygen cylinder can become terrifying. The object accelerates rapidly toward the MRI, bore the opening in the machine. The larger and more magnetic the object, the more dramatic the pull can be. And once it's moving, stopping it isn't easy. In some documented incidents, equipment became stuck directly to the scanner because the magnetic force was too strong to remove by hand. But flying objects aren't the only concern. Metal implants can create image distortions. Certain metallic items can experience induced electrical currents. Some objects may even heat up during scanning because of the radio frequency energy used by the machine. Suddenly, that harmless-looking piece of metal doesn't seem so harmless anymore. Yet there's one twist most people never hear about. The biggest danger isn't usually the giant obvious object. It's the forgotten one. A key in a pocket, a pair of scissors left on a cart, a floor buffer accidentally brought too close. Because the magnetic field is invisible, people can forget it's there. You can see fire, you can hear a train, you can watch a storm approaching. But an MRI magnet gives almost no dramatic warning before it acts. Everything appears completely normal, right up until the moment physics decides otherwise. And that's exactly what makes it so dangerous. What's fascinating is that the same force capable of launching metal across a room is also helping doctors detect tumors, examine injuries, and see details inside the human body. That would have seemed like magic a century ago. The danger and the medical miracle come from the very same source. So what happens if metal suddenly goes inside an MRI machine? If it's strongly magnetic, it can be pulled with astonishing force, potentially turning into a projectile in seconds. The machine doesn't get angry. It doesn't switch into attack mode. It simply obeys the laws of physics with absolute commitment. And maybe that's the strangest part. One of the most advanced medical tools ever built is also a reminder that invisible forces are shaping our world every second, whether we notice them or not. If your brain just spent 5 minutes imagining flying oxygen tanks, subscribe to Fact Harbor. That's probably a sign we're doing something right. The next time you see an MRI machine, you'll know that behind that calm white shell is one of the most powerful magnets most people will ever stand near. And hopefully, not while holding a wrench.